My name is Madison Urias, and I did my anthropology project on apartment living versus home living. I would like to apologize in advance. I am sick with a cold, so I'm not that appealing to listen to, but I will try my best, so please bear with me. So, my title of my project is on the inside of apartment living. I chose this topic for a personal reason because I have lived in apartments and homes, and I know how it has affected me, and it for my life it just has affected me personally in a lot of ways, and I've grown in a lot of ways because of it. So I wanted to see what it was like for other people. So my goal for this project was to see how people reacted with one another based on living in an apartment and living in a home. I wanted to see if this really affected people on like their friendliness and how their etiquette was to other people, and I had an idea of how my results were going to turn out. I thought that I was going to be right that apartment living really affected people and how they treated other people. And then I realized during my project that a lot of it had to do with how people were raised and how their parents raised them. And a lot of these people that live in apartments now did not live in apartments their whole life. I interviewed a couple people from apartments, and I interviewed 2 people that lived in homes, and everyone's answers from the apartment seemed to be similar, and people that lived in homes, their answers seemed to be similar too. I chose for my location was the Americana Apartments in Simi Valley. I chose this location because I had lived there for a long time, and that's where I felt most comfortable. I called that place my home, and so I went back to see if other people felt the same way I had felt about this place, and my results they weren't shocking, but it was just amazing to me to see how living in an apartment versus living in a home for these people were just different. Apartments were built because people can't afford to live in homes. House payments are just too expensive, and so poverty is the main reason why these people live in apartments. During my interviews, I did ask questions as to why these people were living in apartments versus living in a home, because of course everyone wants to live in a home. They want something to call their own. Apartments you're renting, it's not yours. So I asked these people as to why, because I know they did not choose this. They didn't want to just live in an apartment. And it was a hard topic for a lot of people because it was poverty was the reason why they were living in apartments. They just couldn't afford a house payment. And that was the shocking part for me, is to see these people and sad about not being able to live in a home, even though in my opinion living in an apartment seemed to be a gift for them because they were more social and considerate than the people I had interviewed living in homes. It took me a couple times to ask my neighbors, because I live in a home now. I asked a couple neighbors if they would be interested in letting me interview them, and there were a couple people who were just not interested. They were like, no, sorry. And but when I went to the apartments, I interviewed 2 people. I had no idea who they were. I just went up to the door and said, hi, I'm conducting an interview for my anthropology class. I was wondering if you would like to participate, and they were all for it. But people who lived in homes, just they could not find the time to do it. I understand people are busy, but I just found it odd that I didn't have that same problem as I did when I tried to conduct interviews in the apartments. I observed these people and I watched them, and to see them all interact with one another in an apartment, because they have to share washers and dryers, and the mail is in the front of the apartment. So I observed up there. I sat on a bench and watched people come up, and they would hold the door open for each other and keep it unlocked if they saw someone walking. A lot of animals, everyone would stop and pet, and I just saw a lot of people stopping and talking to each other. And it was like a community in the apartments compared to in the homes. When I interviewed these people, next to me, who were my neighbors, had no idea who I was or who my parents were. And so it was just really interesting. This project was very interesting to me, and I really enjoyed doing it. So thank you.